Okay, class, good morning. We are now in our week 2 in Cookery 9. So, I am your teacher, Mom Laurie. So, this time we will be discussing about the week 2 topic covered the October 26 to 30, 2020. So, we will be tackling about how to answer activity task 1 to 4 TLE Cookery 9 week 2 October 26 to 30, 2020. Module 1 week date. So for your week date is October 26 to 30, 2020. So for our quarter 1 learning outcome 1 week 1 perform mise en place is already done last week. So for today, let us have quarter 1 learning outcome 2, week 2, prepare a range of appetizers. And then the following week, we will be tackling about learning outcome 3, week 3, present a range of appetizers. And for week 4, store appetizers. So this will be tackled on the following week. So let us have now the quarter 1, learning outcome 2, week 2, prepare a range of appetizers. So before we start, let us first know the objectives of this lesson. So first is you have to differentiate hot and cold appetizers. Second is prepare a variety of appetizers. And third is follow workplace safety procedures. So before we discuss about the appetizers, let us have first the short information about how to prepare a variety of appetizers. So in every occasions or even for some regular day, a great dining experience often starts with an appetizer. So it will excite your taste bud and prepare them for the rest of the meal. So to present a quality appetizer, a cook should master his or her skills in making recipe as well as when to prepare hot and cold appetizers. So there are some important dishes that must remain either hot or cold. Example, lumpia wrapper to make Shanghai recipes is a mixture of flour and water that becomes crispy when frying and becomes soggy after a while when exposed to air and moist. Okay, so as you observe that when the lumpia is exposed to air, it becomes soggy. So it is not hindi na siya appetizing when the lumpia is exposed to the air. Okay? So lumpia should be served hot. Okay, so wild fish salmon that are topped on fresh cucumber will not be appetizing if its coldness is not maintained. Okay, so salmon should maintain its coldness para maging appetizing pa rin siya. Coldness also prolong the shelf life of the fish as not deteriorate that produce harmful bacteria and salmonella. Okay? So yung coldness niya, it will also help to prolong the shelf life of a salmon and also to prevent the salmon to produce harmful bacteria and salmonella. Okay, so this lesson specifically tackles hors d'oeuvres. Okay, so as hot or cold appetizer. So hors d'oeuvres are pronounced hors d'oeuvres. Okay, so hors d'oeuvres is pronounced hors d'oeuvres. Okay, so when you see this word, you will pronounce it hors d'oeuvres. So appetizers are often mistaken as another term for hors d'oeuvres. Okay, so appetizers and hors d'oeuvres are different, but they are different. Okay, so appetizers are eaten before a meal. So ang appetizers po natin are eaten before a meal. Or in other words, this is the first course, okay? While hors d'oeuvres is outside the meal. It is generally one bite food that is either stationary or served separate from a or prior to a meal. So appetizers and hors d'oeuvres can be served either hot or cold. sweet or savory, crunchy or soft, and include a variety of color, textures, and temperatures. They should be light and not too heavy. Okay, so ang ating hors d'oeuvres, ito po ay light lang siya. Not too heavy. Remember, not too much. Okay? So it is also important to observe proper diet or nutrition. Full fat foods are not recommended as it can quickly fill up a person and cause them not to be hungry for the rest of the meal. So, for instance, consider serving a vegetables as an appetizer or hors d'oeuvres. So, if you are invited in a party that says heavy hors d'oeuvres are to be served in the Filipino setting, we refer this as a cocktail party. So, when you hear that the party says to serve heavy hors d'oeuvres, so in our Filipino setting, it is refers to a cocktail party. That means that there is no meal afterward. Okay, even casual party, they are the meal served in a buffet for you to pick it with clean fingers and saucer. Okay, so you're eating using your finger. You are going to pick it with a clean fingers and saucer. Okay, so hot and cold appetizers. So many hot hors d'oeuvres are suited for serving as small a la carte dishes and usually described as hot dish. So cold appetizers should stimulate and therefore should always be served at the first course and the menu. Okay? So hors d'oeuvres is often served preceding a meal. So before a meal. They are served as food as a cocktail parties involving alcoholic beverages. So hot and cold appetizers. So we have the hot hors d'oeuvres are served between the soup and fish course in today's shortened menus. They are often served instead of hot entree. Okay? So the size and the richness depends upon the composition of the menu. Many hot hors d'oeuvres are suited for serving as small a la carte dishes, excuse me, dishes and usually described as a hot dish. While the cold hors d'oeuvres should stimulate appetite and therefore should always be served at the first course in the menu. There are 5 types of cold hors d'oeuvres and they are served as follows. Okay, so there are 5 types of cold hors d'oeuvres. So first one is the plate of hors d'oeuvres. Okay, it may consist of shrimp, smoked beef, poached egg, Spanish sardines, and lettuce. Sauce can be served at the side. So as you can see in this picture, there is a shrimp, smoked beef, okay, Spanish sardines, lettuce, sauce is also can be served at the side. Okay. So next is the grison platter. So it may consist of 2 kinds of cold meat such as ham, smoked beef, peppered ham sauce can be served at the side. Okay, hindi nyo lang nakikita yung sauce pero meron yan. Okay, so next is hors d'oeuvres platter. So a well-presented platter with a limited choice of simple or more expensive foods. So the basic rules in small quantity but big in quality. Okay, and at the same time, attractively served, it may consist of shrimp, jelly, asparagus stiff with mushrooms, sardines with onion rings, tomatoes, stuffed with salad and chicken loaf. Next is the assorted hors d'oeuvres. It can be served in a special portioned platter with dishes or even from a serving cart. And the next one is rich hors d'oeuvres. It's still a classical form of presentation. Lobster should always be included. The hors d'oeuvres dish system is conjunction with a silver platter can be used, but it is also possible to arrange the centerpieces on a silver platter covered with a meat jelly and covered with accompaniments in a small separate bowls or containers. So there are recipes of appetizers. Okay, so we have here the recipe of appetizers. So first is a salmon and cucumber bites. Okay, so the purpose of this is to prepare a salmon and cucumber bites. So as you can see, there is a tools and ingredients in this recipe. So after these discussions, you will be you're going to prepare an activity on how to prepare your own recipes, or you are going to compile recipes. So here is a sample. So you have to write down the recipe name, the tools and equipment needed, and the ingredients, and also the directions or the steps and how to prepare it. Okay, so I will not going to discuss it more. Just read it on your LAS or the learning activity sheets. Okay. Okay. So fruit cocktail recipe, relish. Okay. Mix vegetables with cheddar cheese. Okay, so preparing honey paste from a toast. Yan. Okay, so for your activity, so for activity task 1, hot and cold. Okay. So in the direction shows the similarities and differences of cold and hot appetizers. So you're going to write down here the difference between cold and hot appetizers. So dun sa middle, you're going to write down the similarities. Okay? So if you have any questions, just PM me and ask questions if it is um, not clear to you. Okay, so here is the sample of the template for activity task 1. Okay, so just write TLE9 at the top of your paper, your name, teacher, week date, grade and section, then module number. So for week date, it is for October 20, 26 to 30. Okay, so for module number, just write 1. Okay, so ganito yung gagawin niyo. So for the task 2, true or false. So you're just going to write true if the statement is correct and false if the statement is wrong. Okay? So just write it on your TLE answer sheet and do not write anything on the learning activity sheets. Okay, so you're just going to write here if it is true or false. Okay? Okay, here is the sample for the template of activity task 2, true or false. So for your task 3, research and filed up. Okay, so you are going to collect 20 different recipes of appetizers and compile it like book using any kind of paper, decorating materials, glue, coloring materials, and you do not write anything on the learning activity sheets. Okay, so your output will be rated using the scoring rubrics below. Okay, so if you compile 20 recipes in very attractive manner, so you can get 20 score. The highest score is 20. But then if you compiled 16 to 19, so 18 lang yung score. And then 10 to 15 recipes, so 16 lang. And then 14 naman if you compiled only 6 to 9 recipes. And then 12 if you compiled less than 6 recipes. Okay, so if you want to get a higher score, so you have to complete or you have to collect 20 different recipes of appetizers. Okay, so wait, I'll give you an example of the um, scrapbook. It's style of a scrapbook. Okay, so I have here a sample of a scrapbook. It is made by my students last year. It's all about baking, but you can get ideas on how to prepare your activity for task 3. So this activity for task 3, it needs more time. So uh, I'll just give you the due date of passing this activity. I'll just post it on our GC. Okay? Okay, so here is the sample. Okay, so here is a sample. If you can see it, okay, it's like a book. Okay, it's like a book. You are going to write here the compilation of recipes or appetizer. It depends upon you of what you want to put on your scrapbook. Okay, so pwede kayong gumamit ng iba-ibang materials in making your scrapbook, but then wag kayong gagastos ng malaki or just find some yung mga karton or cardboard na pwede ninyong gamitin, yung mga patapon na. Okay, so wag kayong gagamit or bibili pa ng mga materials na kailangan maging resourceful kayo sa paggawa. Okay, so here, nakalagay kasi dito is stress cake of baking. Okay, mga ganyan. Ito kasi may mga pictures silang nilagay during our activity last year. Yung sa paggawa ng mga breads, muffins. Okay, ayan. Ayan. Okay, I'll show it mamaya. Okay, para makita nyo ng mas malaki. Okay, so next, here is the okay, so sample template for activity task 3. So, hindi nyo gagawin tong eto na nasa yellow pad. So, eto ang gagawin ninyo. Okay, yung ituturo ko sa inyo mamaya. Okay, so nakalagay dito, note submission, second week of November. So, eto mababago pa naman yung date na yan kasi medyo matagal itong gawin. So, dapat simulan nyo na rin para mas maaga nyo siyang maipasa. Okay? So, sa GC natin, magbibigay din ako ng date or ng mga iba pang criteria sa pag-submit ng inyong activity for task 3. Okay? So, magkakaroon tayo ng kung kailan niya pinasa siya, magkakaroon din siya ng points. Makakadagdag ng points yung kumaga kayo nakapagpasa. And then, kunwari, na-late siya ng mga ilang araw, so may minus na yon. So, hindi pa naman ako nagsiset kung kailan siya isa-submit. But then, prepare it para po makapagpasa kayo on time. So, for task 4, appetizers. So, dito naman po, is you're going to, it's a situational po siya. And then, for example, okay, so dito ang gagawin po ninyo is you're going to prepare. Okay? Magpe-prepare kayo ng isang recipe for your sister. So, babasahin ko yung situation. Your sister will be celebrating her 18th birthday. 18th birthday, you were asked by your mother if you could make the appetizer for the party. You're excited the answered yes because you just finish studying about it. So prepare the appetizer of your choice and ways for your sister by making your own recipe. So write your recipe in your answer sheets. It includes the following: the recipe name, the tools, the equipment needed, and the procedure. Okay? So, make your work neat and creative. Okay? So, yung inyong output will be rated using the scoring rubrics below. Okay? So, 20 properly prepared, complete 20 own recipe in a very attractive manner. Okay? So, properly prepare 16 to 19 recipes. Okay? So, dito sa activity 4, I'll just give you 10 recipes na lang, masyadong marami yung 20. Okay, so 10 recipes na sarili ninyong gawa talaga. So you're going to give the name of it, the tools and equipment, and then yung procedure kung paano siya gagawin. Okay? So you will write it on your answer sheets. So sa next week kasi, ang ipapasa nyo lang po is eto muna. No? Okay, ayan, ito yung sample. Ganito yung gagawin ninyo. So, quarter 1, learning outcome 2, prepare a range of appetizers. So, your own recipe. So, ganito yung gagawin ninyo. Ito yung sample lang naman. It depends upon nyo kung paano nyo gagawin yung task 4. So, medyo complicated yung dalawa. Yung task 3 and task 4. Okay? Ayan. Okay, so thank you. Stop sharing. Escape. Okay, so ito yung sample. Okay, so ito yung sample for task 3 na gagawin ninyo. Ayan. I have here a sample of a scrapbook. Okay, so ang gamitin ninyong size is yung half ng, tawag doon, yung papel na makapal. Oslo paper para pare-pares kayo ng sukat. Okay, so bili lang kayo ng isa and then isukat ninyo sa cardboard ninyo yung size ng half ng Oslo paper. Okay? So, pag tinupi nyo siya, so, dalawa na siya. No? Itong sa likod, and then itong sa harap, and then itong sa likod. Okay? So, ganyan ang gagawin ninyo sa inyong task 3. Dun sa scrapbook or yung pag-compile ng mga recipes ng mga appetizers. Okay? So, kung ano yung nakalagay doon na instruction, yun yung susundin ninyo. But then, gagamit kayo ng yung patapon na ng mga materyales. Huwag yung bibili pa kayo. Okay? So, kailangan maging resourceful kayo kasi gigradean ko rin yung pagiging resourceful ninyo. Okay? So, kailangan maayos, neat, and creative ang pagkakagawa ninyo. Ayan. So, meron kayo dito dapat na mga table of contents. Okay? Lagyan niyo siya ng table of contents. And then, ayan. Kasi ito, madami kasi ito. May breads, cakes. Okay? So, kayo na lang yung bahalang mag-design. Ayan. Ayan po. Ayan. Ayan siya. Ganyan. Okay? Ito kasi may mga picture kasi during our activity last year, pinapag-picture ko sila every time na kami ay mag-bake. Okay? So, pinakompile ko sa kanila yung mga pictures. Ayan, ganyan ang gagawin ninyo. Para at least meron silang remembrance. But then, hindi ko na sa kanila naibalik kasi nga, nagkaroon na ng pandemic. Okay? Pero ibabalik ko pa rin sa kanila to kapag bumalik na yung nag-normalize na tayo. Ayan. Medyo malabo yung camera, hindi nyo makita. Ayan yung mga ginawa nila. Ayan. Ayan siya. Okay, so ayan yung likod. Ayan. Okay, so ganyan yung gagawin niyo sa task 3. Task 3. Kasi yung for task 4 ninyo, medyo matagal pa rin. So, yung dalawa, ipahuli nyo na lang. But then, simulan nyo nang gawin. Okay? So, that's all for today. If meron pa kayong clarification, just message me on our GC or i-PM nyo lang ako pag medyo malabo. Okay? Or malabo talaga. Okay, so thank you and goodbye. And broadcast.